You're listening to Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beers, brought to you by the Cork and Stogie, 1218 Duval Street, Key West, Florida. The facts and opinions of the show and its staff are prone to exaggeration, error, and conjecture, and are often given under the influence, always given under the influence of drinking beer. After all, this is a beer show. It's about beer, and we are busily drinking it while discussing its merits, so what did you expect? Slurring, laughing loudly, name-calling, and belching are par for the course, so it's best if you imbibe with us in a responsible manner, just to get into the spirit. We always welcome your comments, whether we actually pay attention to them or not. Thanks for listening.
Hey! Welcome to the Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beers. I'm Key West Chris, your host.
I'm Danny Hoy.
I'm Dave Sr.
I'm Diamond Dave.
I'm missing Cowboy Mark.
Where's Cowboy Mark?
Cowboy Mark is up in New York. He's up in the Big Apple.
He's having fun.
He's in the Brooklyn section of the Big Apple, and he's DJing tonight.
Yes, because that's what he does.
That's what he does.
That is one of the many
he's
things
on call.
that
He gets called to all points in the world. He's DJ'd in Munich and Vienna and Hong Kong. Oh, he's been everywhere. Now tonight he's in New York. So, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, he is a DJ. I mean, he's been at South by Southwest. He's traveled all over the place.
He's been all over the world.
So.
And when I say those names of those cities, I wasn't kidding.
No, it's not because he was time traveling either.
Well, time traveling's a whole different story with him.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. So we miss you, Mark.
We miss Mark, yep.
Yes.
Dave Jr. doesn't miss Mark. Dave Sr. does.
I don't miss Mark.
No, we don't have a studio audience.
I do love you,
tonight,
though, bro.
So no studio audience tonight. It's a quiet night. At the Cork and Stogie, 1218 Duval Street.
Well, we're sponsored by the Cork and Stogie, 1218 Duval Street.
In sunny Key West, Florida.
That's why we live here.
Yeah, and tonight we're going to be discussing a couple of really fun beers. Dave Sr., you were the one who introduced me to our first beer that we're going to have. Maybe you'd like to give an intro to the...
Yeah, had I studied, I probably could do that. But this is...
It's time for you to go to beer school.
You probably know more about it than anybody else on the show.
Well, maybe. Let's see. Froghair is a nice, light...
Yeah, we should say we're our first beer tonight is going to be Froghair Blonde Ale.
Yeah, Froghair Blonde Ale.
And are they based in Tampa, is it?
Well... I thought I read that they were out of Pensacola, but distributed out of Tampa.
Yeah, I think the company's based in Tampa, and as I understood it, they do a subcontract to a brewer up in Pensacola who brews the beer there. Yeah.
Okay. But it's a couple guys that created a beer based on their love of golf and light beers on the golf course. And
this is a golf beer?
It's a golf beer.
It's a golfer's beer, absolutely.
And by the way, Froghair is a term which is the grass just outside of the green.
Yeah, it's a little bit taller than the green, but not as tall as the fairways.
It's not the fringe. It's not the green. It's the frog.
The frog.
And where's the rough at? Is this another term for the rough?
The rough is like when you're in the woods.
If you hit the rough, you're done.
You're in trouble.
Right. Especially if you're.
So the frog hair is where they just can't trim it as nice as they do the green.
Yeah, but it's like steps. You're going from the fairway to the frog hair to the green.
Which if you look at the tap handle, it's a nice frog head.
It's very friendly.
With a really nice frog hair.
It's a great handle.
Hair.
Yeah.
He's got a green mohawk. Is what they're trying to say.
It's a really fun beer, and it's been selling real well here. So I thought, well, let's give it a shot. A couple guys that own this company are really friendly people, and I just thought it was a nice light beer to do today on an 89-degree day, which the factor said it felt like 99, and this is September in Key West, so and it ain't going to get any cooler.
No, this is September's like the middle of the summer for us as well. It doesn't change. So.
It's still summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Summer is endless.
But other places are starting to look. They're starting to get to the point where they're getting. As a matter of fact, on our music show, we had Jean Dowdle in the other day as our guest, and her daughter is in Colorado, and her daughter. She said the day before, was that Saturday she was in? I think it was. But Saturday, she said her daughter had started her potbelly stove for the first time the night before. So it's getting chilly in other areas of the country. Where here we're still up in the middle of the summer and it's warm and
99 degrees in the shade.
Well, it's 89. I've never lived in the years I've lived here. I have never seen it get 99. And
That's heat index. Is all I'm talking about.
heat index. You can't. That's a lot. That's
Yeah,
a bunch
that's
of baloney. The only thing you can go by is what the real temperature is.
You know what I feel heat
What's the
index
real
really is, if
feel
you want
like
to say
it
it. It's what the tourists feel like it feels like. Because to us, it's still only 89 degrees.
Yeah. Well, see, the trick here is you walk in the shade.
Right.
If you walk
it.
in the sun, you're looking for trouble.
I ride the bicycle around looking for the shade every time. When I stop at a stop sign, pull over to the shade.
There you go.
That's the way it rolls.
Chillax.
I wish
you
I had
pull-
a frog hair every time I pulled
Well,
over
you
in the
pull
shade.
you
It would
pull
be
into a
really
place
nice
like
to,
the Cork and
refresh
Stogie,
myself.
a perfect place. You could get yourself a nice frog hair.
Well, I can say one thing right now about the frog hair.
Yeah.
Today I had the day off before
Mm-hmm.
I came on tonight to do this. And
Good.
before we had bocce tonight, which was good night, good showing of bocce.
Good.
Yeah.
So anyway, I came in earlier today and I had a couple things to do. Right before I rode back home, I came in here and it was really hot. I was riding around town taking care of things. I stopped in and a frog hair was very refreshing after a ride around town taking care of bills on my day off doing everything. I decided that frog hair was the way to go.
Absolutely, and when you stop and think about it, these guys brewed it for. As a matter of fact, one of the things that they told me is that you'll predominantly, first of all, their beer is only available on draft,
And only in Florida.
only in Florida, and it's predominantly at golf courses and also places like this where you have, craft beers available. That's it. But they seem to have a really good attitude, and David told me that from your dad, Dave Senior, had told me that from the get-go. He said these guys they're really enthusiastic about their beer and they're really excited about it, and I think they really brewed a perfect beer for a hot day. And if you're coming off the golf course, what more could you ask for?
It's the 19th hole.
The 19th hole, yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's for.
The 19th hole.
And I think there's only two guys there. There's Jeff and Kevin.
yeah.
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 And something interesting that you found out today about the caddies.
Yeah, they apparently they're sponsoring 10 different caddies who are on the PGA Tour, and they mentioned one of them.
Yeah, Russell Knox.
Thank you. Yeah, his caddy will be on. You'll see him on TV, and they have some type of apparel that they're outfitting them
The
with.
frog hair apparel.
Yeah, the frog hair apparel.
It makes me think of those hats that have the hair
Yeah.
with them, like on
Oh,
the top.
yeah.
That that's
The
like
Guy Fieri head.
that's the
what
frog
it
hair,
is.
if you ask me.
But
That's the frog hair right there.
I think their marketing is a great idea. They're going after the golfers market, which I've never seen any other beer or alcohol company for that matter. I might have missed something. That's very possible, but at least not any beers that I've noticed have specifically focused on going after the golf market. And the golf market's a good market to go after because you're getting people who are they're not wondering where tomorrow's meal is coming from. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're hitting a somewhat affluent demographic of people that aren't going to hesitate on spending the money. So, and they have a beer brewed just for them. So, I think it's a really good marketing tool, and they're putting themselves in golf courses.
Cool.
Now this is this the I mean I didn't do a lot of research on it. I know I've drank a lot of this, but is this the only beer that they do?
Yes.
Yes, this
Yeah,
is the
this
only
is
one.
the only
yeah.
beer that
So
they
far.
do.
Yeah, it's 5% alcohol,
Right.
and it's got a 17 IBU.
Yeah, very low. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to, as a bartender here at Cork and Stogie at 1218 Duval Street in sunny Key West, Florida.
That's why we live here.
Yep.
I honestly, when people come in and say for some reason somebody asks for a Bud Light, and I say, well, would you like to try something that's a little bit different, more like a Bud Light or something that's very light and crisp and refreshing, because that's why people look for Bud Light, because they're used to that light.
They're looking
feeling.
for a refreshing
And to
beer.
tell you the truth, I don't want to necessarily compare this to a Bud Light, but when I have asked or told people, hey, you know what? If you would like something nice and light, try this as a craft beer. And if you've never had a craft beer before, most Bud Light drinkers will go, oh yeah, that's a good beer.
yeah.
I'll have one of those.
Yeah.
And they'll end up doing one. And I'm turning some of those Bud Light drinkers and some of those Miller Lite drinkers and all that. I'm turning them over to craft beer easily by serving them Froghair. And thank you, Froghair.
And one of the things they're doing,
helping me.
That Kevin had told me today, is what they're doing is, and you'll find this on their website as well. They're using Cascade hops, and at the end of the boil, they throw in some orange peel, and that's what's giving it that little citrus hint to it. You know,
Yeah, it does have an orangey,
which is very light though. It's very light. It's not.
It's
like,
not overpowering.
It's not like one of those wheat beers that you throw an orange slice into, like a Hoegaarden or a
because this is brewed into the beer.
Right.
So it's a good idea. I think it's great.
And I'm not even tasting citrus per se, but you can tell maybe the citrus is there. I know that sounds contradicting each other, but
it's got this slight Christmas.
Yeah. Orange peel.
Orange peel.
Yeah,
for sure.
We used to like Christmas. Did you say?
Crispness.
I was just
not
thinking,
Christmas.
I was just throwing into
You're
another
like
old memory all of a sudden about
no, it's not like
oranges and oranges and cloves and.
You know that fresh smell after you just cut down that tree in the Christmas tree farm.
Yes.
You know, I think this beer is going to work out really well for them. And if they were going to do another beer, if they decide to expand their line to 2 beers, I could only recommend them doing like a German style wheat beer.
I think
because that's very refreshing.
I
also,
think they'll do a really nice light pilsner probably too.
Hey, have you guys played golf?
I'm a very avid golfer. I haven't played in a while. I have a set of clubs.
How long does it take to do a game of golf?
You can, depending on how well you
18
play.
holes.
That's how you're running through it.
18 holes, and
you got to be a couple hours.
If you have a golf cart, depending on how many people you're playing with, how much people are drinking,
how slow the people are in front of you,
how slow the people are in front of you.
I was just getting ready to say
how many people are on a golf course. If you have nobody in front of you, you're playing with. Let's say you're out there with 4 people. You have 2 golf carts. You could do a game, and you could do 18 holes in 3.5 hours. I've been known to play 36 to.
You could have quite a few beers.
Oh, you're a real sicko.
Well,
it's a masochistic game to begin with.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't count my score. I total up the scores after the first 18, and then after that, it's more along the lines of how many beers have I had, and can I still keep swinging this club right now?
Yeah, is this arm going to...
Yeah, up to 42 holes. You know, my buddy Nate and I, the last time I went golfing, I went with Nate, and, shout out to you, Nate. But we were pretty much falling down by the time we got off the course.
Where was this, Dave?
It was at Key West Golf Club.
At the Key West Golf Course over on Stock Island.
Key West Golf Club over on Stock Island.
Very nice.
On beautiful Stock Island.
And it's a beautiful golf course. And for those of you listening, and if you've never been to Key West before and you do like to play golf, Key West Golf Club is it's our only golf course.
Yeah, it's the only golf course.
But it's a very interesting golf course. You have to deal with lots of iguanas. Mangrove trees. Watch out for hole number 8.
And I think they'll rent you clubs too, so you don't have to bring them.
They
down.
will rent you clubs. They will.
Well, here's a question. I wonder if they have Froghair beer at their at the clubhouse.
Last time I was there, they didn't have draft.
No, according to
was
it Kevin?
Yeah.
No one has this beer south of Miami.
Except
Cork and Stogie, yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well, that's good for you.
No one's picked up on it yet, and it's a great, refreshing beer.
Ribbits.
I'd like to say something real quick about Robin Williams. He had a fantastic little video that you can watch on YouTube if you go search for it, and it's about golf. It's probably one of the funniest videos Robin Williams ever did.
Yeah, he was talking about how
talks
it was
about
invented.
golf and he's trying to explain golf or have it explained to him, and it's very, very funny.
Oh, it's got to be hysterical.
So, and I as not a golfer really, really loved it. Because it really set off why I don't golf.
Oh, okay.
Because he tells all the frustrating things about golf. So
whacking the ball into the tiny hole. And
it's a fun,
yes.
But I do realize there's a lot of social aspects to it, and I think that's there's exercise and social aspects, and you're out in the air and you're exercising. So I'm not knocking golf by any means. I'm just saying
that's what I was trying to say actually about being out on the golf course all that time. This is definitely a social beer. This is a beer you can drink for that amount of time that you're